Hello everyone, welcome to Frugal Lifestyle. My name is Terry Lynn. Today we are working with canned chicken. Canned chicken is fairly healthy and very economical. And we have some recipes that are convenient, yet they taste homemade and delicious. My go-to stores for canned chicken are Walmart and Aldi. They have really good deals. The Swanson brand at Aldi only costs $2.75 for a 12.5 ounce can. Walmart has a good deal going on all the time for a 2-pack, $5.12. Great value brand. That breaks down to $2.56 per can. If you find good deals like at Meijer or Kroger marked down even cheaper than that, I would stock up because it's a great thing to have on hand. In case you can't get to the store in the middle of winter, you can have some canned chicken that you can rely on to create a delicious semi-homemade meal. I decided this would be a good way to use up the leftover broccoli, and I cut it up very finely. And the leftover broccoli soup, cream of broccoli soup that already has cheese in it. The recipe that I'm going to use from all recipes calls for shredded cheese. I just don't feel it's necessary because we are using stuffing. Plus, like I mentioned, we already have cheese in the soup. So we can eliminate that and save money on the cheese and save calories and fat also. I have 2 cans I'm going to use. And I'm using a very large pan, and I'm going to spray my pan. I got it preheated at 350. This recipe is super easy, especially if you're using leftovers and you already have, or if you already have the broccoli prepped. If you're using canned chicken or rotisserie chicken, that makes it super easy. And of course, you can use store-bought canned cream of chicken, mushroom, or celery soup. Either one of those canned creamed soups should work perfectly. Also, if you have cream of broccoli soup in the refrigerator or the freezer, I would pull it out and use it because it's great for this. So we're going to get lots of broccoli this way. And then we're using cornbread stuffing. You can use any form of box stuffing. All right, we have 4 ingredients here, basically. We have our broccoli, and I'm just going to put the broccoli soup with the broccoli. And this soup is pretty thick, and I'm going to go ahead and add the liquid from the chicken. We're just going to mix everything together here. I'm going to mix the first can. I'm going to leave some of the chicken in big pieces. My husband likes that. Here's the rest. And with the liquid, we'll have more of a soup base instead of, it's not as condensed as it was. Now at this point, the recipe I'm using calls for a little bit of mayonnaise. I guess it gives it creaminess and flavor. I'm just going to see if I actually need that. I don't think I do. Yeah, I think this is fine. Some of the water will evaporate, the water in the soup. I'm just going to mix it up real good here. But I'm going to add flavor just by adding garlic powder. This will flavor it pretty well. And just a little bit of salt and pepper. The recipe says to add shredded cheese. You could do that also. This is a very easy casserole. It's coming together very quickly. Now I'm going to put the dressing on top. Just going to spread the stuffing evenly over it. So we'll put this in the oven, 350 Fahrenheit. Preheated oven for about 35 minutes. I just took the broccoli chicken casserole out of the oven. Oh boy, does it look good. And the stuffing is still crispy, which is great. I have some scallions I cut up diagonally, and I'm going to throw those on the casserole. This is our first canned chicken dish. Chicken broccoli casserole with cornbread stuffing. All right, then let's give it a taste test. I'm glad I left those chicken in larger pieces, and I'm glad I didn't chop it up too much. This makes it seem more homemade, as if I used fresh baked chicken. It just saved a lot of time by using the can. And on busy days when you're here and there and everywhere and doing everything you can imagine, it's very convenient to open up a can. And this is a winner for sure. This is a really good dish. Very, very hearty and wholesome. You can't go wrong with broccoli. It's a very healthy vegetable. Now the next dish we're going to make is Korean chicken bowl. We're using canned chicken instead of ground chicken. The recipe calls for ground chicken, so you can use that if you have it. We're going to mix together some delicious ingredients to create an Asian sauce that goes with that. We don't have to cook the chicken because, of course, because it's canned chicken, it's already done. This is a little less than a pound. This is only 12.5 ounces. So I'll go light on the slightly under the measurements for the ingredients. So the sauce we're going to make for the chicken mix, we're going to use soy sauce and olive oil, avocado oil in place of sesame seed oil. And we have sriracha replacing another ingredient. I can't pronounce the name. It starts with a G. And you'll see it in the recipe. And we have honey, ground ginger, crushed red pepper flakes in place of Korean red chili flakes. And I'm going to use minced garlic in place of fresh garlic. If you have fresh garlic, you can mince it, of course, and use it. I'm using 1 large green onion. Okay, then we're going to chop that up and going to mix everything with the chicken. And this time, instead of leaving the chicken in chunks, I'm going to chop it up very finely. And I'm going to definitely drain the chicken broth. I'm going to use that for something else. I'm going to drain the liquid from this, which we can use for a gravy or to go in soup. So I'm not going to waste that. I drained the Swanson chicken. Now I'm going to smash this into little pieces, very similar to what you would find when you cook the ground chicken. Here we go. The chicken's in very small chunks, and we're going to chop the green onion. So we're going to start doing our measurement. I'm going to cut back about 1/3 of what it calls for because we only have 12.5 ounces of canned chicken. I couldn't find a canned chicken recipe for this. If you want to use ground chicken, go for it because those measurements will be accurate. For 1 pound ground chicken. Okay, a tablespoon of each oil goes into the mix. 2/3 a tablespoon of ginger. 3 teaspoons minced garlic. Very delicious. It does not have to be cooked. Now, if you're using fresh garlic, you might want to saute that a little bit in the oils and then add to the chicken. Now we add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I have to remember I'm cutting back by 1/3. I just kind of rely on my memory. It's good for my memory at my age. I need that. But it can always be written down as a reminder also. With the rest of the ingredients, I'm not going to measure them out. I'm just going to eyeball it. We are going light on the crushed red pepper flakes. And same with sriracha. I'm going light on the sriracha. And the honey. 1 tablespoon is accurate. Let's see. It's about 1 tablespoon. This is looking good. I'm going to give it a taste test. If it doesn't need anything, I'm going to leave it exactly the way it is. I'll see what it needs. It needs just a little more honey and a little more sriracha. But those are really good Asian flavors. This is going to be a really good Korean chicken bowl. About 1/2 tablespoon of honey added and sriracha. Maybe a teaspoon. I'm going to be careful on that. My husband likes me to go light on the sriracha. If he wants to add more to something, he will. This should just make it perfect. I'm going to build my bowl with, it's how much rice you like. You just build your bowl with cooked rice. There we go. I think it's enough. And on one side of this, I'm going to put minced chicken. It's pretty much what it is right now, minced chicken. And you can heat this up if you like before you add the toppings on top, or this could be served lukewarm. But I'm going to show you how it's to be served when you go to eat it. We'll be adding chopped carrots and cabbage and chopped zucchini in place of halved cucumber slices. Now, to me, this looks like a salad, but there is something the recipe calls for. You can add to it to make it more of a hot dish. All right, I'm going to heat up my pan. I got 2 eggs. I'm going to make my husband a sunny side up egg too, but his is going to be separate from the vegetable dish. This is to finish off the dish, Korean style ground chicken bowl. I have my pan heated up with avocado oil. Now, I haven't made sunny side up eggs in over 3 years. Okay, I'm gonna do the first one here. It's split already. Just gonna put a little salt and pepper. My husband likes his eggs a little runny and insists on over easy. Turn that over here. Yep, that I don't want it to be overcooked for him. I do not like mine runny. I like my yolk almost like a boiled egg, a softly boiled. If you choose to eat it this way without the egg on top, then I imagine there's some sauce you can put over it, maybe teriyaki sauce. I'll look at the recipe more closely and let you know what you can use. Here's what it looks like. If you like your egg runny, then you would just break up the egg and eat it along with your meal. The recipe, I'm going to look at the picture. I think it looked like it had sriracha on top of the egg. Or maybe that's sauce that I can't pronounce the name of it. Just did a little smear of sriracha on top of the egg white and some scallions on top of that. If you have red cabbage, use it because it is much more colorful. I only had the white cabbage. Here's my husband's plate. But he prefers coleslaw rather than putting the fresh vegetables over the chicken and rice. He likes his vegetables separate from his meat and grains. Now for this last meal, we're going to make chicken patties, which you make them just like you do tuna patties or salmon patties. I've been making these for years. Let's get the griddle on. We got some other side dishes to go with this. This could be for breakfast, lunch, or if you want to make it for dinner, you can. I'm using avocado oil. I'm going to heat up my pan. The chicken, I just break it up very well. And we have 1 egg beaten. Put that in there. We have minced onions, very little, about 1/8 a cup. Cracker crumbs, about 1/2 cup or 7 to 8 round crackers, or you can use saltine crackers. We don't need much salt at all, but just use a little bit. The salt helps to blend everything together. A little pepper and dill weed. Okay, and make sure you drain the chicken. I drained it and I reserved the liquid to make some chicken noodle soup over the weekend. Okay. You just take an ice cream scoop and make your fritters. And I just put them in scoops like that, and then I flatten them with a spatula. You can use an ice cream scoop or a very large spoon. And it looks like they're not going to come together, but they do. I try to shape them as well as I can so they don't look too much like fritters, but they kind of look like crab patties. That's what they look like. And then you just wait for it takes just a few minutes on each side. Okay, let's see if this one's ready. There we go. They fall apart a little bit, but that's okay. Let's turn this one over. Perfect. And they taste like fried chicken patties. That's what they taste like. Oh, there we go. There you go. There's a perfect one. All right. This is all from 1 can, so that's not bad. We made 6 patties. There's always one that doesn't fry up as well as the others. And this is the one right here. Chicken patties or chicken fritters, these are more like chicken fritters, are done. And in the recipe, I'm going to recommend you use 2 eggs instead of 1. It makes them rich, but they hold together very well. So here's the complete meal that I prepared for my husband and I. And this will last us a couple days, let me tell you. I made biscuits this morning and my husband already ate one. But They were supposed to be for the chicken patties. And I made gravy. This is a milk gravy, the same kind of gravy you would use for sausage gravy, but without the greasy sausage, that's for sure. Then we have sweet potato hash browns. I used avocado oil and onions to fry those up. And then our chicken patties. So everything is looking good here. Here's my brunch. This is breakfast and lunch together, and I will not eat much dinner, let me tell you. Thanks for watching today. I hope I gave you some really good ideas on how to use canned chicken in some delicious semi-homemade meals. May many blessings come your way. I'll see you on the next one.